A fragile, innocent heart has been broken and the family torn apart. A perpetrator filled with hate, hitting your little body into a state. 1 hit, 2 hits, up until 8. Don't worry, little one, it's never too late. Black bruises and deep scars, a broken heart hidden in different jars. Emotional trauma and child abuse, a ticking bomb not easily diffused. We have to protect children at all costs before innocent lives are lost. We should have the need for them to succeed before this country of ours bleeds. They should be happy, they should be playing, and we should be educating. They should be laughing, they should be singing, and we should be committing. Early intervention can be prevention. To save a little life before it's too late is our responsibility, and we cannot wait. Poem by Zianla Maloney.
Hi, I'm Vanda Fischer, and I will be giving the description and background of child abuse. To start off, we need to know what child abuse actually means. It is when an adult, like a parent, caregiver, or stranger, causes injury, death, emotional harm, or risk of serious harm to a child. This can either be through their actions or lack thereof. There are 5 different types of child abuse, namely emotional abuse, emotional neglect, physical abuse, physical neglect, and sexual abuse. Emotional abuse refers to behavior that belittles, humiliates, and ridicules a child. Emotional neglect is the lack of the provision of appropriate support, attention, and affection. Physical abuse are acts of physical assault by an adult to a child, including cuts, fractures, bruises, shaking, burns, and internal injuries. Physical neglect, on the other hand, is the failure to provide sufficient food, clothes, shelter, and medical care, as well as abandonment, kicking a child out of the home, and failure to enroll a child to school. It is important to note that some parents willfully neglect their child in this manner, but there are also those who have no choice because of poverty, etc. Sexual abuse is when a child is the victim of sexual assault and/or sexual exploitation. This can be a once-off occurrence, or it can be repeated over a period of time. This includes fondling a child's genitals, intercourse, incest, rape, sodomy, exhibitionism, and sexual exploitation. Sadly, child abuse was not really recognized legally until about 1875, when Henry Bergh, the founder of the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, created the New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, which is the world's first entity entirely devoted to child protection. The reason why he created this society is because a young girl in New York, Mary Ellen, was being physically abused by her foster parents, and the police could do nothing about it since there were only laws in place to protect domestic animals.
Hi, my name is Jessie de Freitas, and I will be talking about how child abuse can cause barriers to learning. In the classroom, with children who may come from abusive households, there are problems like struggling to concentrate, avoiding social interactions, frequently being absent from school, aggression, absent parents, or low self-esteem. Being in an abusive household can also cause a child to feel insecure, which will also contribute to their overall demeanor and interaction in class with the students and their own work. Being in an abusive household can cause a child to have many doubts about themselves, and this may cause them to not work to their full potential or get as involved in class, which will affect how they learn. If a learner is in a hostile environment, they may struggle to sleep or eat, and this will affect their ability to concentrate in class. And this will mean that the quality of work that they produce won't be as good as what it could be. Children in abusive households may also not feel comfortable in groups because of their low self-esteem, and they may withhold their true feelings and opinions. They could also not want anyone to get too close to them or touch them, and this will also apply to when they are playing. It is difficult to always understand what children feel and why they feel that way, but children in these households may show more aggression, moodiness, and anxiety. Children in these households may also act the way that their parents or caretakers act at home, which may be aggressive, moody, or anxious. Parents that are abusive may also not be involved with schoolwork when the child gets home, and they may not be communicating with the teacher, and this will negatively impact the child's performance if they have homework or projects or extra work that needs to be done or worked on at home. These all can be barriers to learning and can hinder the child from reaching his or her full potential.
My name is Jaden Wegerly, and I'm going to talk about the impact that child abuse has on a young learner and their participation in the classroom. When a child is abused at home, they will come into class being a bit more timid, a bit more scared of social interaction most of the time, and therefore will have limited participation in the classroom. They will not answer as many questions, they won't add as much to group projects or any of that stuff. Nextly, the learners might be sexually inappropriate with other learners. This is only if, or in most cases, if the learner has experienced sexual abuse at home. They will come to class thinking that this is normal and this is how to interact with other people because that is all they know as shown to them by others. So they might act out in that way. Learners may reveal their abusive situations through phallic or depressing drawings. Most of the time, a teacher can tell, especially with children at a younger age, their situation at home based on what they draw or how they write in class. So if a child is drawing inappropriate images or rainy days or depressing rooms or sad faces on their picture or making their body look a bit strange in their pictures, that is probably a clear indication that there's some sort of abuse going on at home and they are trying to communicate that through their drawings. The learner's quality of work will also be inconsistent. Because of the abuse at home or wherever the abuse is happening, the learner will most likely not be able to do homework as much because of their mood or because they physically can't because of the abuse or whatever the situation is. A lot of parents also intellectually abuse their children and therefore they feel as though they cannot do the work because they don't feel smart enough. So there's a lot of different ways as to why the work will be inconsistent, the quality of the work will be inconsistent, and this also will be shown in their marks in class. Maybe they will struggle to focus, or any situation like that is probably a very clear indication as well that they are going through some sort of abuse at home. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Jade Bloom. I will be speaking about the role of the teacher when it comes to child abuse. The teacher should 1. Identify and report. It is important to observe and record any signs of abuse in your learners. For example, if a learner has unexplained bruises, you should document this in a file. You should also have an abuse reporting system in your classroom, such as a box where learners can write about their abuse or a teddy near the teacher that they can talk to. Once you have a body of evidence, a claim should be made at the police station. The welfare will be contacted and a social worker will assess and address the case. A child whose abuse has been stopped can now focus his energy on learning instead of fearing the abuse that he will face when he gets home. Number 2, intervene and refer. Once the child has been removed from the abusive situation, you should continue observing his behavior, attitude, and actions. This must be communicated with the child's legal guardians so that an interconnected system of support can be established. For example, you could suggest play therapy or family counseling, depending on what you have observed in class. A child who is being helped to process all the trauma and confusing emotions that come with abuse will be less overwhelmed and distracted at school. Number 3, be accommodating. It is crucial to be caring, understanding, and patient with a child who has experienced abuse. You need to walk a journey with the child. For example, you should even be prepared to hold a child's hand if they are too scared to go to the bathroom alone due to past sexual abuse. A child who trusts their teacher and knows that their teacher is there to help and not harm will feel excited to learn and will work hard to make her proud. 4. Create a safe environment. Remember to go out of your way to make your learners feel safe, protected, and comfortable in your class. For example, you could seat a child who has been abused close to your desk. Additionally, you can create a type of safe corner in your classroom. It can have cushions, teddies, and soft music playing. The learner can go to that room if they are feeling sad, angry, or overwhelmed. A child who does not feel safe or comfortable making mistakes will not reach their full learning potential. Number 5, build their confidence. You should strive to have a positive influence on your learners so that they believe in themselves despite the struggles they have faced. You need to be careful to build them up and not break them down. For example, you could reward their efforts, achievements, and attitudes with verbal praise, a pat on the back, a reassuring smile, or a sticker on their head. A child who feels validated and appreciated has a greater motivation to learn and succeed. To end off, the main role of the teacher is love. Love can change circumstances, relationships, and even the course of a little life.
Hi everyone, my name is Janne Maloney and I will be discussing the resources available in the community to assist a learner who is being abused. So firstly, the South African Police Services have prioritized school safety through a safety and education partnership protocol. This partnership has helped to raise awareness in schools and in communities not only about child abuse, but other factors such as violence in the community. They have also managed to close shebeens and liquor outlets within a 500-meter radius of schools, ensuring the safety of children in those areas. It is also important to note that when a suspected case of abuse is reported, the police then investigates the case, and if there are cases that needs to be opened, the police will then open a criminal case to ensure that the perpetrator is caught and cannot do this to any other child. A social worker has an involvement with the child welfare system to support victims of abuse. A social worker is also responsible for helping families or individuals to cope with different problems they may be facing. Their main role includes teaching skills and developing mechanisms for the family or individual to rely on to better their lives and experiences. Child Welfare South Africa's main role is protecting children from abuse and to ensure the safeguarding of children in South Africa. They also lead child protection initiatives that is done through the mobilization of communities for actions through multiple projects and awareness-making programs. Places of safety are usually brought into place when a child is removed by the Child Protection Services. The places of safety offers a safe and secure environment, and love and care are evident here along with necessary support structures. The child is only removed when there are severe cases of abuse present and then when they are at risk and their safety and well-being are in jeopardy. This is usually done by the presence of the police, social workers, and the welfare. Another key role play in the community would be healthcare practitioners such as doctors. Usually when a child is removed by the Child Protection Services, they are immediately taken to a doctor for a medical evaluation. The most important role play in the community would be psychologists and counseling services. These are support structures for the child that offers coping strategies to better their mental health and in turn better their education. Psychologists are equipped by means of assessing, diagnosing, and treating the psychological and behavioral problems relating to physical, verbal, or sexual abuse. Psychologists improve their patients' quality of life. It is also disheartening to see how innocent children are being treated in South Africa. So change starts within the community and in the classroom, and if a teacher could help even a little bit, it would be enough to make a change in a child's life. The community is also equipped with many resources set in place to assist a learner who is being abused. Whether it be a poor or rich community, it will always be a main priority to safeguard children and to protect them from any perpetrators with early intervention strategies and advocacy and awareness making programs and campaigns.